Coach, Dayton this week, rematch, possibly for the conference championships. Talk about their personnel and how we match up.
Well, they're a tremendous team. Be a tremendous environment. Their senior day, they've got great players who are seniors, and it'll be the toughest environment that we've faced all season. But it should be a fun game. Should be a fun game. It was a great game there last year. We weren't able to pull it out, but it was a well played game and a good game. And if we play well, we can make a good game of it. Make a good game of it again.
Is it good to have a game, even though you have them all year, but a game in such an intense environment as the postseason approaches?
I mean, you don't play in intense environments in postseason. I mean, the NCAA tournament, half the time you're playing in front of half-empty arenas. So, I mean, maybe if we were lucky enough to get back to the tournament and find ourselves in a situation like where we played Oklahoma, maybe in Oklahoma City like we did last year. I mean, I suppose it could help, but I mean, just two good teams, the two best teams in the league playing each other, and be their senior night and honoring their seniors who have just had a phenomenal impact on their program.
What's the importance for you guys of winning the regular season?
I mean, it's always a goal. It's always a goal for us, and we were able to do that last season. I think the mark of a consistent program is somebody who's at the top of the league every year in the standings. It's very, very difficult to win the league regular season. So I think it's the mark of a good, sustainable program that wins, and we want to try to win it.
Is Dayton as good of a rebounding team as Rhode Island, or are their strengths a little bit different?
Well, they're good. No, they're good. They're going to take it at us. I mean, they're going to take it at us. Coach Miller is a phenomenal coach. He popped in that Rhode Island film. Their eyes are probably lighting up. So, we still haven't hit Hassan Martin. And so, I think, I think they'll be ready to go on the glass. I have no doubt about that. It'll be an absolute, be an absolute brawl on the boards.
Archie said yesterday on the teleconference that they needed to increase their intensity from the game that they played here.
We're going to have to increase.
You watched the film. I mean, is there areas where they can improve?
We're going to have to increase our intensity. What was good enough to beat Dayton here will not be good enough to keep us in the game at their place. So, I'm sure he's got things that they need to do. We got things that we need to do. Better as well. It was a well-played game here. It was a high-level game, two good teams. And he had his group ready to go. They had big leads on us in the first half a couple times. And we were able to scratch back and get it to a 2-point game at halftime. But, we've got things we've got to do better, because what worked here won't work at their place. That's for certain.
Along those lines, you played your last road game of the season last year there as well, and I know you're very aware of the scheduling formula. I'm not. How does it work that once again at the end of the season, when
ask the A-10, I have no idea. Drew Dickerson and Jay DeFrucio, I'm sure they'd love to hear from you. So ask them. I have no idea.
Would you like that to change?
We play them as they give us the schedule.
It's a brutal finish for you guys. I think your last 5 regular season games, but against the first four, the top 4 teams. Is that an advantage, a disadvantage to have you guys expending that much mental energy, physical energy right before, obviously, money time, tournament time, and the NCAA tournament time?
You got to play them as they're scheduled. So that's the way it was and the way it is. And, there's a lot of opportunities there, too. We have an opportunity tomorrow night to win a big road game here late in the season that would position us really well for a regular season conference title, position us well for the NCAA tournament, that sort of thing. So we have that opportunity, and it's on us to take advantage of those.
winding down the season here, do you sense that our seniors kind of have that sense of urgency of, this is their kind of last go around?
Yeah. I mean, everybody knows that it's getting down towards the end, and sometimes your seniors, it can react multiple ways. Some of them are ready to get it over with. I'm not saying our guys are. I'm saying sometimes seniors are ready to, in general, are just ready to end it and move on and get on to their next chapter. But I don't sense that with our guys. I think our guys are, want to string this thing out and play really, really well down the stretch and give ourselves a chance to have a special couple weeks here.
In the beginning of the season, we asked you, or in the beginning of the A-10 play, we asked you what you thought it would take to win the league, and I think you said 13 or 14 wins in the regular season, if my memory serves me. Does it surprise you that it's going to end up being 16 or 15, a couple more wins than you thought?
Yeah. I mean, I think in general 14 usually does the trick, but it could end up taking 15. That's just the way the league was. The league was this year.
Coach, I got the sense in the first meeting against Dayton, when Justin Tillman made some big plays for you, that his teammates fed off of that in certain points of the game. Will he need another monster game like last year?
Yeah, we just need him to play well. We just need him to play well. We need him to do what he does and, be great on the backboards and finish things around the rim. If he could do that, that would be a big help for us. Huge help for us.
It's February 28th, which means it's almost March 1st. How do you feel about March?
Well, we'll see. Ask me tomorrow night. We'll see. But March is a good month, fun month, if you make it fun by winning. So.
I don't want to pit one against the other, but Dayton and VCU have probably the biggest home court advantages in the A-10. Is there a way that your kids are in some ways prepared a little bit more for what Dayton does because they play in it so many nights out of the year?
I don't know about that. Their fan base is phenomenal. The support that they have there is just tremendous. I mean, we packed this thing out at 8,000 people. They've got, I think, 14,000 thereabouts. I thought I heard yesterday on that conference call they're going to set an attendance record. Their all-time attendance record for a season tomorrow night. It's sold out, obviously. So I mean, it's a phenomenal environment. They've got great fans. They love basketball in Dayton, and I don't know that. I mean, it's great to play in front of our fans, but there's not a lot of adversity like we'll face playing in front of their fans tomorrow night. So I don't know that has any impact on it. But I do certainly think these are two very, very passionate fan bases that really, really care about men's basketball at their schools, and it should be a fun environment. We certainly have a ton of respect for Archie, Dayton, their program, their fans, everything that they're, everything that they're about. They've got a phenomenal infrastructure there to continue to be successful, as do we here at VCU. So that's it's the two probably most invested programs in the conference playing each other, and that's what it's exciting, I think, for the fans. I think their fans, just like our fans get a little more excited when we play Dayton or Richmond, I'm sure their fans get a little more excited when they're playing VCU or somebody like that.
Jake once said at Richmond that when he comes out and the crowd is almost so slanted the other way that he sees that as a challenge. Is that the kind of attitude you want to promote with your guys as a whole to view it that way?
Well, that'll be a challenge tomorrow night. I mean, there'll be times you won't be able to hear yourself in there. It'll be so loud. So it'll be a challenge, and you've got to embrace that and work through it and get through it and be better for it. So hopefully we'll respond the right way. We'll stay connected. When you play Dayton, I mean, they're a really, really good team. They're a really, really tough out. I think the seniors have only lost 6 or 7 home games over their 4 years there. I'm not sure how many our guys have lost, but probably not many either, just like that. But how many of our guys lost?
6, I think.
6. I think Dayton's lost maybe six or 7. I think Dayton's lost maybe 6 or 7. So it's they're used to winning there. I told our guys yesterday. They all started laughing, but I told them yesterday. I said if we think if you think we've killed them and run them over, we better kick the car in reverse and run back over them and make sure, because that's how they are. I mean, our team's got that quality to us as well. When we look dead, we look done. We're able to kind of get back up and scratch it out. I mean, Dayton did that at Davidson last week. They've really dug in, and that's a credit to their program, their seniors, the type kids they have. So, it's going to be a 40-minute game. Every possession's going to matter. Every little detail is going to matter. We don't have time. I told our guys, we don't have time for the my bads tomorrow. My bads is going to be a buzzer, and you're going to be on the bench. Like, I don't have time for that stuff tomorrow. The my bad, I'm going to get it corrected. No, I'm going to send somebody else in there to get it corrected tomorrow. We ain't got time for you to work it out tomorrow, because our margins are going to be so thin between winning and losing.
What did Dariante hear from the doctor yesterday?
It's progressing. He did more workout yesterday. He wasn't in as much pain. If all goes well, we'll dress him out on Wednesday and let him warm up with us. He won't play, but we'll let him warm up with us, and then hopefully be able to work him back in from there if the pain continues. The bone's been healing, and he's progressing at a good clip right now. Good question. You beat Tim to it.
How much is it going to help you to get it back?
Come on, Tim. You're falling asleep over there, man.
He was waiting for the private question.
Huh?
How much is it going to help?
Tough
you
loss
get
last
it
night.
back? What do you mean? I'm here for VCU, coach.
I'm just saying, tough loss last
It was a
night
tough
to the
loss.
Hokies.
Virginia Tech didn't lose it. But enough about me.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Dariante, getting him back, what's that going to mean to you guys?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Malik's playing awfully well. Does a lot of good things for us defensively. So everybody looks at it in we're just going to get Dariante back. All right, well, we have won 9 out of 10. So who do you not want me to play as much so we can give Dariante all these minutes since we're in a rhythm right now? Like everybody, we're just going. Well, okay, so who do you want me not to play? Because everybody else is doing a decent job. Now, it gives us options if somebody goes off the page or somebody's a little bit, somebody goes a little bit haywire on us, which can happen during the course of a game, that you can throw them in there. But I mean, at this point in the season, I'm pretty comfortable with the guys we're rolling with, and we got to just see how he is. I mean, I don't know how he's going to react. In game situations, you just don't know. I mean, he hadn't played in 2 months almost, and so. Another scheduling quirk. How about that? He would be. He got hurt in the George Mason game, our first conference game of the year. Then we don't play George Mason again until the last conference game of the year. How about that? Atlantic 10 for you.
It would have been
But
helpful to have him Saturday when you had 30 fouls in the first half.
Huh?
It would have been helpful to have him Saturday when you have 30 fouls in the first half and you got to play everyone.
I mean, we could have used him obviously in those type situations. But I thought Q did a good job. He stuck his nose in there and did a nice job for us. But certainly it's disappointing. I mean, and you look at it from your end too. But when Dan Hurley's preparing his game plan and Will Wade's preparing his game plan, I don't think Dan Hurley wanted to put Barry in the game. That kid hadn't played in 6 weeks. And, you want, when you play the best teams in the league, you want your best players to play their best players. And I thought that was really unfortunate part about Saturday is both teams didn't get to play their best players for a majority of the game or for most of the game. I mean, now his kid Martin didn't need to play the whole game. He killed us in his limited time. But you want it to be mano y mano. And I think for the most part that's been good. When we played Richmond at their place, our best players played and their best players played. I think usually it's been pretty good, but that was unfortunate Saturday that it couldn't be best on best for longer stretches of time. For the game and for the team and for the fans. I mean, for everybody. I don't think anybody tuned in wanting to watch our backups play their backups all the time. That's not what you sign up for.
I know.
But that's the way it goes sometimes. And I thought the game they did a good job officiating it. I mean, we fouled a lot, they fouled a lot. We both are pretty high in foul rate in the league, so it's not.
Just such a high disparity in
So it's
a
not-
game like the game at Richmond where it's like they're letting everything go, and then a game at Rhode Island where
Well,
they
I'm
call
not
it.
getting into all that. They both games were well officiated. Yes, Wes.
I I know the A10 doesn't want you to say anything, but do you guys as coaches have an opportunity, if you have any issue with the officiating, is there any kind of protocol?
I haven't had any issues with the officiating this year. So, I mean, I have a good relationship with the guy who assigns. I haven't had any issues with officiating. If I did, I would talk to him, but I think our officiating has improved this year. I think the officiating's been good. And I'm not a whiner and complainer with that sort of stuff. There's a lot of things we could have done better to win the game, regardless of how the game's called. So that's on us to adjust. So that's a loser's mentality, in my opinion. I've 4 years of head coaching. I never send in videotapes on missed calls, none of that crap. I don't do any of that stuff. That stuff's for the birds. So I've done it one time. I did it at Chattanooga, and it was because my player got hurt and was out for 3 weeks because of some screening stuff that happened, and the guy appreciated it and agreed with me on 8 of the 10 calls that I sent in. He said, "You're right." And so it has to be pretty bad. And I thought the game Saturday was, they did the best they could to control two very physically punishing teams. But that's the way it goes.
Do any coaches do that? Because like in football, they do
Oh
it
yeah,
every
they
week.
there's coaches that send stuff in all the time. Maybe it gives them an advantage over us, I don't know. But I don't do that. I don't call and complain about stuff. That's just not my deal. If I do call and complain, it's probably going to be a pretty serious situation. But that's not my deal. I think our officiating's been good this year.